Oh.
As you guys know, I've been in the 4-H Livestock Club for 4 years, and I have learned many life skills such as responsibility, leadership, and work ethic. And not only do you raise livestock, you do community service projects and other fun activities with the club. So I've raised hogs and goats, and this year I'm doing a market steer, and in this video I'm going to show you guys how to raise a market steer. So some supplies you will be needing: food, a scoop for the food, bucket to put your food in, washing supplies, medical supplies such as syringes, ProBios, and other goodies, ProCharge. It's a reconditioning spray, and fly spray for the summertime. Also, you'll be needing a feed pan, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't want my food to just be slapped on the table. I want a plate, so same concept for cows. Also, you'll be needing a pitchfork to clean up his stall and a muck bucket to put all your shavings in. Also, you'll need a rope halter, a necktie, and a show halter. Lastly, you'll be needing a show stick to pacify and to position your steer's legs in the right position during showtime. And also you'll be needing some type of bedding. In this case I have shavings. And you will be needing some way of transporting your animal, and in this case we have a trailer. You're going to want to clean your cow's pen daily to prevent foot rot, and foot rot is a bacterial disease in their foot that can cause them pain and eventually make them become lame. And it also minimizes worms, and it can decrease the amount of biting flies. And basically all you're doing is sifting through the shavings and getting any manure and pee out of the shavings. And you'll find that they like to pee and poop in a certain area, so really hone in on that certain area that you find. In this case, it's this back corner right here, as you see. And you don't have to get it spotless, but you want to get it pretty clean. You don't want any noticeable manure anywhere. We're going to move on to bedding, and when you can see the mat, that's how you can tell when you need to add more bedding. So there's two types of bedding you can use. You can use straw or shavings, and it's really personal preference, but I like to use shavings because it's easier to clean up because it's like a big litter box. So I've got my shavings here. As you can see, he's already opened them. He really loves fresh shavings, as you can tell. Fill this up and call it good, but that's too dirty. So we're gonna dump this out. We're gonna fill up their water. And this is what your water should look like. And this is the result of fresh water. Next they need to eat, so you're gonna grab your feed, your scoop, and your bucket to put your feed in. Now, as a general rule of thumb, every cow needs around 2% of their body weight to maintain their body weight. So that's just to maintain their body weight. I feed him more than the minimum, because he needs to grow fast because our show is in May and I need him to grow as much as possible within that time frame. So you probably won't be able to see this, but this right here is 16 pounds of feed. That I've already measured it out and I put 16 pounds of feed in there and I marked it, that way I know when to stop. Now, that was a while ago, so based on that, he needs more, around 18, so I'm going to go above that line. And also, you're going to want a stockpile of feed because you never know when the feed store is going to be closed or they're not going to have a shipment in. You just want to always have feed, that way your cow has something to eat. And that is how much he gets in the morning, and this is how much he gets in the afternoon. And as you can see, this is way too dirty to put their feet in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this out because I wouldn't want to eat out of this, so I shouldn't make him have to. So we're going to get that clean. And that's good. So and that's feeding. Cows are unique because they are ruminants, which means they have a 4-chambered stomach. Now, most people say that they have 4 stomachs, which isn't true. They have 4 chambers that make up their single stomach. And I feed hay because it gives them the required nutrients they need for the roughage in their digestive tract. And I also feed hay because it has a more concentrated amount of nutrients, and that helps him grow faster, which is needed because I have a short time period to finish him. First, I'm going to start off by saying that I'm sick, so bear with me here. We're going to move into exercising your cow, so I have 2 things here: show halter, rope halter. Your show halter is what you're going to use in the ring, and your rope halter is what you're going to use for practicing. Now, in this case, we're practicing, so I'm going to use the rope halter. So, when you first get your cow, you're going to want to put your rope halter on in his pen because he needs to get used to it. So, I'll demonstrate that. Alright, so your rope halter's on, you're just going to let him walk around, kind of get used to it for a while, and once he gets used to it, in this case, he's used to it, so I'm just going to start showing you guys what I do in the pen. So you're going to just set him up in the pen, and it doesn't have to be perfect because you're just starting out, but once he sets up, you can just start walking him around, moving him around, let him get used to you. And this is a small pen, so it's kind of difficult, but if he can move in here, he'll definitely be able to move outside. So what I like to do, I like to take him out in this round pen here, and this just gets all his spunk out, and it's a great exercise for him. As you can see, he's just running around, and he'll get tired pretty quick. So if you can get him out here doing this daily, you'll have very good results during showtime. Alright, so I'm going to do a quick demonstration on how you put this rope halter on. So you're going to want your lead end, which is the end you hold on to. You're going to want that coming out to the left, and that's going to go under his nose. And this is behind the ears where my right hand is, and this is on top of his nose. So I'll show you how that works. So try to get him where you guys can see. And just like that. Alright, so once he's got his spunk out and he's comfortable with his walking in his pen, you're going to want to rock him around. So, and this does not come easily. There's a lot of time you have to put in to get him to respond to you. He's pretty good now, but when I first got him, he didn't want to walk at all. But I got out daily and I worked with him, and now he's walking fine. You're going to need your show stick and your show halter, and you're going to use these in the show ring, so it's good to practice before you get in there. That way you can get comfortable with it, and you know how you're going to use it in the ring. So I'm going to go ahead and put his show halter on. And you're going to do the same thing with this as you did with the rope halter. So once you get comfortable with walking him, you're going to put his show halter on, and you're going to get your show stick. So now I'm going to teach you guys how to set up. Now this is what you have to do in the show ring when the judge is assessing who places where. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So you're gonna start off by walking him out, and then this takes a lot of practice. But what you're gonna do, and I'll slow it down for you. So you're gonna make your turn. You're gonna slowly, basically, he just does it perfectly now, but basically what you're gonna want to do is turn him, stop him, and you want him to land in this position each time. Now, once he's in this position, he's gonna want to fidget and move. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take this hook on the show stick, and you're gonna scratch his brisket. Now, this looks kind of painful, but it's actually very soothing to these cows, and it keeps them comfortable and helps them stand for longer periods of time. So you're just gonna hold him here, and the judge is just gonna be walking around, looking at him, feeling him, and you just want him to stay right here. And he loves this scratching right here, so he's gonna stay in this position for hopefully a long time. All right, so I'm gonna go into depth on what I mean by setting up correctly. So as you can see, his front 2 feet, they're square. His back 2 feet, they're offset. Now, that is what you want. You want his back feet to be offset to give him the profile that the judge is looking for. And so see how he just moved his foot back? We don't want that. He's square everywhere, but we don't want that. We want his back feet to be offset. So I'm gonna take the hook, and I'm just gonna tap the back of his leg, and he's gonna pull it forward, just like, well, a little bit more. Like that. And he's set up now. So now I'm going to show you what he shouldn't look like. So if he sets up, for example, if he sets up, let's see if I can get it to where he's not supposed to look like. Okay, so here, his front 2 feet are not square at all. Can you see that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this left one up and just going to poke him one time, and he's going to adjust, just like that. And in the back, he's pretty good. I'm just going to bring his back right foot closer to me a little bit. And there you go. And he's good to go. And sometimes you want his back to be flat, so sometimes what people do is they'll take the hook and just kind of scratch him a little bit right here to sink his back in. He doesn't do it very well, but if your cow has an arched back, you can do that. And the end result from all this hard work is a happy cow, and most importantly, a successful market project.